Happy Friday, the 9th of January. A very significant date, and every date is. So I'm going live simultaneously on two Facebook pages, my personal page, Ray Coates, my creative page, I don't use it a lot actually, Ray Coates Voice, and also YouTube. And there's a standalone music video as well. The timing of this is incredible. So I've just come in from the recording studio. Anyone who's watching this live, or if you're catching up in replay, comment, because the message I'm sharing is more than music. And that's not to try to make it more than it is. That's not to try to make music less than it is. For me personally, as a singer-songwriter, music is an element to be able to share messages. And whether that can be in a number of forms. If we think of a very pop song, a very pink and fluffy pop song, there's a thought. That's a message, and that's okay. Happy, dancey, fine. I also know, and we've all experienced from music we've listened to, or if we write music, we create emotion. So we have feelings in motion, and that's what music, lyrics combine together. Often it could be music on its own, it could be lyrics on its own. It creates an emotional connection. And ironically, as you look at the background behind me, I'm sure you're making a connection with the late great David Bowie. 1947, the 8th of January, David Robert Jones was born. Then to become the artist over time, David Bowie, and of course other alter ego incarnations of that person. And this has always fascinated me. I wouldn't say I'm a Bowie aficionado by any stretch of the imagination, but here we are, the 9th of January 2026, between the date of David Robert Jones, David Bowie's birth, and tragically, the date of his passing. Tomorrow, the 10th of January, is 10 years since the passing of David Bowie. Now, 3.5, 4 years ago, I wrote a song called Galaxy Starman. And when you say it like that, it makes it sound like it's just something you do. There was a big build up to this, several months, I would suggest at least. And I'm sharing this with reason. You notice the image behind me is the cover artwork of an existing single. And the single is Galaxy Starman by Oversoul and the Architects of Passion. Comment if you're joining this live now. Comment also in replay. So let me step to the side for a moment. You can just about see that, a slight knock of the microphone there. But the image, Oversoul and the Architects of Passion, Galaxy Starman. If it is back to front, pop it in the comments, but I know it appears back to front for me, which I think should be the correct way round for you. So that was about 3.5, 4 years ago that this single was released under that name. Over the last few years, I've released music under 5 different names, including Ray Coates. Why? Somebody actually asked me that question recently. I've released 150, 200 songs easily over the last few years. Why did I do it under different names? Well, a variety of reasons. One, I wanted to represent different parts of me, different facets, different elements of me. And because I hadn't shared the creative side of me for so many years, I'd bottled it up, I'd limited it, I'd inhibited it. And belief systems I was part of, I chose to be part of, restricted that creativity. Then, when I unshackled, when I released myself, when I freed myself from those belief systems and the cultist way of being, when I got that wrestled free ultimately, which wasn't easy, it was like a creative explosion. The expansion was immense. And I couldn't contain all of this energy that was flowing through me. I still can't, because that's creativity for me. That's what it means for me. And the message I want to share here on this poignant day is I feel that's the same for everybody in different ways. We're not one-dimensional creatures. You may already know this, and if you do, that's great. But very much so, let's think of music. Music as an art form. It's so expressive. It's so free. There's no right, there's no wrong. Yet, everything is tied to a genre. So what I mean by that is you know, you must, because we do what we want. You must be perhaps staying in that genre of rock, or you must be staying in that genre of pop, or whatever it might be. Bowie himself said, never play to the gallery. So several years ago, I had this collective experience, and what I mean by that is everything came together all at the same time. And I thought, how am I going to possibly release this all under the name Ray Coates? I'm not comparing myself to Bowie at all. Again, inhabit the comments if you would like to. If I feel there are comments that are, I wouldn't give them the time of day, then I won't, because that's not why I'm doing what I'm doing. Somebody says whatever they want to say. I'm not particularly wanting to engage in that type of communication. Ironically, again, I've mentioned already connection, communication. We'll come back to those in a moment. Bowie did this over a period of time. Now, I'm not suggesting that was wrong. My goodness me, it's David Bowie, where he did have these alter ego incarnations of himself. Ultimately, he was the creator. And then there was Ziggy Stardust, Aladdin Sane, the Thin White Duke. I'm sure there'll be more that I can't think of, because I'm not claiming to be a Bowie aficionado. So 9th of January 2026, the day between the birth date of the late great David Bowie, 1947, he was born. His passing date was January the 10th, tomorrow, 2016, 10 years ago. Now, he changed shape many, many times in many, many different ways. I wasn't trying to be like that, genuinely. I just felt there were many different layers of me. And that's the message I want to share for you. In being human, there are no rules as such. People say, you need to be this, you need to be that. You need to focus on one thing at a time. I get it, and I think it's not a bad way of being, but it's not the only way of being. And we get that control mechanism where there's this limitation. Be one thing. Again, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I don't think it should be the only thing. So I had this cacophony of creativity, this expanse of creativity all happening 4, 5, maybe more years ago, where it started to expand even more. Then I tapped into this energy, and I felt 3.5, 4 years ago the energy of Bowie. I really, really did. Of course, he'd passed at that time. Where are we? 20? Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Might have even been not too long after. And I was in discussion with a friend. In fact, it was a few years after, 4 or 5 years after, in discussion with a friend. And the friend was talking about the influence of Bowie. Undeniable. Even if you're not a Bowie fan, I'm not claiming to be. And I started thinking about this, and I started thinking about Bowie, as this friend said, as the conductor. A conductor. Very spiritual aspect. I can't remember the actor's name now. Escapes me. But he said, many have said, when Bowie died, it was like there was a shift. There was a shift in culture. And I'm not saying that is the case or isn't the case. people are like glue at times and hold things together. And Bowie had this way of not concerning himself, yeah, fair enough, he was David Bowie, with the restraints of perception. He created. So I wrote this song, and it came to me more accurately. I think this song wrote me as a tribute to Bowie. Through the experience, it was incredible, and I'll be sharing more over time, where I felt his influence categorically. People can deny that. Nobody knows my experience like I do. One day I was coming back from the recording studio. Remember, this song is released as Galaxy Starman, Oversoul and the Architects of Passion. You'll find it Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, YouTube. And as I was coming back from the studio all those years ago, 3.5, 4 years ago, I heard whistling, melodic whistling in the car. I've shared this before. Not the whistling of brakes, not the whistling of a slightly open window, whistling melodically, to the point where I turned safely. I was on a motorway, turned to double check nobody was sitting in the car behind me. Nobody was, physically. I took that as a signal of something. And people might be able to explain that scientifically. Okay, I know what I felt, I know what I heard, I know what I experienced. And it was incredible. Whistling to me playing Galaxy Starman. Now, this is where I'm going to bring you up to speed with an update. Because, yes, I did. I released music under different names. Because I thought, I can't release as much as I want to release under one name. I'd have to wait. And I've left it, not too late, but left it longer than some others realise, than Bowie realised. He started, young. I didn't. I knew I had this creative ability to write songs. I've done it for decades. But then I put it away to go into a different lifestyle. I came back to it with a vengeance. That's the point I'm sharing. And I'm also sharing liberation through that thought of my own experience. I'm not saying, yay, amazing me. I'm just saying it's never too late, because I've now opened up this creative world massively. But what's interesting is I've had tons of collaboration over the last few years. I've worked with tons of people. I've released music under different names. Now, it's actually shrunk back to me. So I am revisiting previous songs released under different names. For example, Galaxy Starman. So in the studio today with Mark Walker, we remixed, reformed, revisited, rebirthed, if you like, Galaxy Starman. I'm not going to share it with you yet. The album will be coming out mid-spring, early summer is the plan. And I thought, rather than me having to promote music under different names, which I was trying to do, spin all these different plates, all these different alter egos at the same time. Rather than letting those songs sit on the shelf, they will exist under the form they are now. But there's also these reformed, remixed versions, which will be released under my name, Ray Coates. And Oversoul, the reFORM, the album is a beginning of that. So I'm revisiting, in total, 10 tracks. The final track, likely, is Galaxy Starman. And then I'm going to go through a number of other tracks I've already predetermined, and we're going through those, myself and Mark, we're reforming them. It's more than a remix. We're rearranging the songs. We're making a difference. And I'm going to release them under my name, Ray Coates. Tons of music out there. Current album, Inside of Me. Doing really, really well. And other songs too. But I can't. at the stage of life I am, at the creative stage of life I am, I'm not concerning myself with trying to fit into a genre. What I would say is this music comes from not just me. I take credit for allowing myself to be a conduit, but some of the stuff that comes through, I'm not sure I know. And Galaxy Starman is an example of that. So it felt the right thing to do on this day. I hadn't pre-planned it. I hadn't intended to rework Galaxy Starman today. Lost a bit of signal there. Right, we're back on again. It's live. It's live, so I don't quite know what happened there, but I'm back in. So that's going to be an interesting one for YouTube. It's not too bad in Facebook because I know it's live there, replay, etc. So maybe there's a ghost in the machine. And we disappeared for a moment. So I was just sharing there. I'm back again. 3, 2, 1, back in the room. So I've been in the studio today. I was actually planning originally to work on the second track on the reFORM album. So reforming Oversoul and the Architects of Passion songs. And the second track is Prism. But led towards the 9th of January 2026, between the birth date of the late great David Bowie, 8th of January 1947, and tragically 10 years ago, the passing tomorrow, 10th of January 2016, David Bowie passed from planet Earth. To re-record, reform, revisit, rewire, rebirth Galaxy Starman. So that's the message I'm sharing here. And now that song will be released late spring, early summer, as part of an album of reFORM songs. As human beings, we're more than one dimension. We're more than one aspect. We're more than one strand, more than one layer. We have a variety of aspects about us, elements about us. I think sometimes when people say, I'm seeing a different side to you now, well, that's a ridiculous thing to say. You're seeing another facet, another aspect of a human being. So over the last few years, I've released a lot of music under different names. I'm now not doing that as much because I'm now bringing everything back home to me. Wow. There's a parting message. It wasn't that I was hiding. It was I was trying to be a number of different things at the same time. Well, I can still do that and be me. That's the same message for you. So enjoy the current version. I'm going to play out with a video that I created 3.5, 4 years ago as not just a tribute to Bowie, but a representation of what I'd felt of his energy and influence, not just in his life, but also in the creation of Galaxy Starman directly. If you're catching up now, watch the rest of the video. It'll be available in YouTube. There is a standalone music video, and it's the right time to share it because it is a time where people are reflecting upon the life and the creative legacy of David Bowie. Watch this space for more. There's the podcast Hope Out of Trauma coming. If you go take a sneaky peek, it's already available. More coming, TikTok lives, more music, reforming, proving as a human being it's never too late. And we can be more than one thing. And we are more than one thing. We have so many different aspects to us. David Bowie, David Robert Jones, 8th of January 1947 to the 10th of January 2016. This is the current offering, Galaxy Starman, Oversoul and the Architects of Passion. Watch this space because there's a reformed, remixed, revisited, rebirthed version coming. Take care until next time. Remember, comment, like, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.
Galaxy Starman. 3, 2, 1. Connecting with the Starman. He's conducting me right now. In the vision transfixed, in the room created bliss. Spiraling, so inspiring. Galaxy Starman. Galaxy Starman. You opened our eyes wide. Galaxy Starman. Galaxy Starman. Long live, so sharp. Communication with the Starman. He's protecting me right now. Saying admits, he's sending me this gift. Oh yes, spiraling, so inspiring. My Galaxy Starman. Galaxy Starman. Yes, you opened our eyes wide. Galaxy Starman. Galaxy Starman. Long live, so Galaxy Starman. Galaxy Starman. Yes, you opened our eyes wide. Galaxy Starman. Galaxy Starman. Once a quiet little catcomb boy, so shy.